Do you remember drawing when you were a kid? Or do you still draw even now? Well, if you do, I want to show you guys how to use the drawing section in PowerPoint and how this can benefit you in your slides. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so as you can see here on slide 1, just a blank slide with a random background image, and then as you can see right here, this is actually where the drawing section is located. Now, a couple of these features are actually grayed out right now, because we need to add in a couple of objects and text in order for those objects to light up on the screen. So I'm just going to do that right now. So I'm going to actually insert, and let's insert a shape. So I'm going to insert just a rectangle. And now you'll see that all these different features are popping up right here. So another thing that I could have done to insert a shape is if I just clicked right here, I could have done the same thing, and that's a lot quicker way of inserting a shape instead of going to Insert, Shapes, and then hitting rectangle to insert a shape right here. Another thing I want to show you guys is actually the difference between some of these shapes in this drop down menu. So as you can see here in my recently used shapes, there's a couple of shapes I use a lot, and there's a reason for that. One, I'm always adding in rectangles to either type in text, and if I insert a rectangle like this and then just type in text here, I can do that like so. I also can make freeform shapes if I go right here, and then I can just click wherever I want, and then it will make a shape for me. So that's another quick way to make custom shapes. Another thing I really like to use is this bracket right here, because if I insert this right here, and I'll actually make this white so you guys can easily see it, and then I'll add a thicker weight to it so you guys can really see it. And now I just hold down this yellow dot right here and click and go upwards, and now it's going to make a straight bracket. And I like to use this if I'm really trying to show people a certain section on the screen as to maybe what this means. Like let's say I have a text box right here and I'm saying this is my random shapes, and then I can easily just increase this and say, hey look, these are my random shapes right here. So this is just a quick way to categorize certain sections of your slide, which is a really cool feature. Another feature I want to show you guys is this curve feature right here. So if I click on this, and then I'll click here, and then I do a second click. Right now it looks like a straight line, but the second I start moving my mouse, it's going to start curving that line and bending it. So this is how you can have really cool curved lines that are nice and smooth. And then you can just connect them, and now you have your new shape. So I really like playing around with that one as well. Another thing I naturally like to play around with are lines. I'll add in a lot of lines, whether it's going horizontal or even vertical. Those are just two different options. There's also a bunch of different shapes here available to you. They even have this not allowed symbol. So let's say you're just trying to warn people to be like, don't use that, or like I don't know, whatever use case you might use this shape for. This is kind of a fun shape to use. Usually you would have to try to find an icon for this, but they actually have a shape that's dedicated to this symbol right here, which is pretty cool. Another shape I also really love to use is this arc shape right here. So I'll actually use this if I'm trying to symbolize a certain amount of something. So if I want to say 50% of the population did this, this is a great way to use this shape, and then you can adjust it like so, and just really play around with the thickness and like how wide it's going to be, and then also how much of it's going to fill up the circle. So as you can see here, there's a lot of different shapes. Feel free to play around with the different shapes to really see what shapes you like the most. You can also really customize them. So like let's say I made my custom shape right here, and I can even make another custom shape just to show you guys again. I can just make, say I'm just making this random shape, and then I connect all the dots. If I right click it and then do edit points, now I can go in and actually edit this shape to be different points right here, which is another really cool feature. All right, and then you could also change like how it's going to be curved by holding down these points right here as well. So as you can see here, you can get really creative on your slides, and I actually did a video on recreating an actual image by using PowerPoint. So if you haven't seen that awesome video, make sure to check it out in the notification center. So another thing to note about this drawing section is that if you don't have anything selected, this is going to be grayed out. So you always need to make sure something is selected in order for these options to appear. Another thing I want to show you guys is this arrange functionality. So this is probably one of my go-to functionalities I use in PowerPoint, and I recommend you guys being very comfortable and familiar with this tool. So with arrange, you can obviously bring things to front, or you can bring things to back. So if you can see here now it's behind that shape, but then if I bring it to front, it's now going to show in front of it. You can also send it to back. Also, another thing to note with these shapes and sending them to back or sending them to front is that there's also the feature called send backward and bring forward. So this will actually only bring the object forward one level. So you almost have to look at this canvas as layers, and the more things you add on, the more layers are stacking on top of each other. And then if you want one layer to go above the next by just one level, that's when you would bring it forward or send it backward. If you want to do it bring to front or send to back, that's going to jump it all the way to the front of the layer and at the top of all the layers. And then if you send it to back, it's going to go all the way to the bottom and be the last layer possible. And another way to see all these layers is if you go here to arrange and then you go to selection pane, this is where you're going to see all these layers. So let's say I want to bring this object and I'm just going to bring it forward. As you can see, it just moved one layer. But if I bring it to front, it's going to now jump all the way to the top. So that's just a quick way to see what I was trying to explain there in terms of bringing it to forward or send it to backward or bring it to front or send it to back. A lot of different ways to arrange your objects in PowerPoint. Another thing to note is align. So I actually did a video on how to align objects efficiently in PowerPoint. So if you haven't seen it already, make sure to check that out in the notification up above. But this is a quick way to just really clean up your slides. So if you want to align, let's say you have two of these and they're kind of off-centered, you can click both of them, hit arrange, align, and then do align middle. And now they're going to be aligned in the same middle axis right here. So as you can see right here, this middle and this middle are aligned. Now you can also have it distributed evenly. So let's say I want these three objects distributed evenly. I can go to align and then do distribute horizontally. And now everything's going to be evenly distributed horizontally. I could also do it vertically. So let's say I have these objects like so, and I want them distributed evenly vertically. I can go here and then distribute vertically. Now they're spaced out evenly, but they're also not aligned perfectly. So you could also go to arrange and say align. And that's how they're going to be aligned perfectly vertically and also evenly distributed, which is really nice to know, especially if you're OCD like myself and you just want to make sure that your slides are nice and clean. So another thing with this feature is quick styles. So I often am not actually going into quick styles too much to really play around with this, but this is a nice feature to have if you are wanting to quickly add a style to an object or even text. If I click on the shape and then go down to quick styles, you'll see here they have a bunch of different presets, and I'll actually move this shape over here so you guys can easily see. So if I click on this drop down menu, then you'll see if I hover over these, it's actually going to quickly add a style, like let's say this gradient and then a little bit of a shadow, or maybe I want black fill with a little bit of a gradient. It's a nice way to quickly style your shapes in a nice and clean way. PowerPoint did give you a couple of presets, and there's also other theme fills. So if you are wanting to change up the types of colors that are going to automatically fill that shape, you can mess around that as well. Another thing to know is shape fill right here. So again, I'm probably not always clicking on the shape fill option right here because I'm going to show you a little later what I mean by a different way of doing this, but the shape fill is right here for you. And if you hover over these different colors, you can see what that object's going to look like before actually selecting the color. And then you also have standard colors here. And then let's say you're using the eyedropper and then you want that same color again for maybe this object. You can go back to shape fill and it's going to show up in recent colors, which is a really nice feature. You also can do no fill if you don't want any color to fill in. And then let's say you want this to be no fill as well. You can just click this paint bucket without actually going in here. If you click right here, it's going to be no fill. That is just a quick shortcut for you guys without having to actually hit the drop down menu. It's going to actually mimic the last color that you have selected for the paint bucket. Same thing goes for the outline, and the only difference is that it's the actual outline of the shape and not the fill of the shape. For shape effects, now I actually go somewhere else to do these effects to even customize them even more, but this is a quick way to add effects if you wanted to. So let's say I have this shape right here. I want some shape effects. You could add them right here, and they're quickly going to show you what all the different effects are that you can add to that shape. Also works for different shadows, even inner shadows, or even perspective. Same thing with glows, and then reflection, bevel, and then also 3D rotation. So the reason why I probably don't mess around with these quick shortcuts right here is because there's something that I like to mess around with a little bit more, and it's if I click on this expand icon right here, you're going to see that this format shape section appears. This is kind of like my go-to pane to add any types of fills, borders, effects like shadows, or maybe reflections. Anything you can imagine, this section right here is going to have it. So if you click on a shape, then you're going to see that there's text options and then shape options. So very similar to what it had right here with shape fill, you can do a solid fill, or you can choose whatever color you want. You can do a gradient fill, and then this appears right here to add different gradients. You have a picture or texture. You can do a pattern fill. You could even do a slide background fill. So let's say, because right now my background is actually black, so when I click on slide background fill, it's going to make this object black as well. You guys can't see it because an image is actually on top of that background color, but I just have the image as a slight transparency, so that's why my image looks a little bit darker. Another thing to note is if I click right here into effects, I'm going to see the same type of effect options that I saw right here in shape effects, but the only difference is that I'm going to actually be able to really customize them a little bit more in depth than by just clicking a preset right here. Another way to get to this format shape pane is let's say I'm adding a shape effect and I want to add a glow. I don't like that glow. I can always go to glow options right here. And now it's going to open up that format shape pane for you as well as if you were to click on this right here. Another quick shortcut of opening up the format shape pane is if you right click on an image and then go to format shape, it's also going to open up this window. So there's a bunch of different ways in order to get to this window on the right. I like to have this window open just while I'm designing my slides because that way I don't have to catch myself opening and closing it over and over or sifting through all these different effects right here. Instead, I can quickly click on a shape, then check here to see what's going on with that shape. Okay, here's the border color, it's red, maybe I want to change it white, maybe I want a solid fill, maybe I want to add some effects. I can add some effects right here. Now there's a shadow. So as you can see here, you can get really quick with this, really customize it. You can choose how big you want this blur to be. If you guys do want an in-depth tutorial on this entire format shape pane, let me know. I'm trying to go through it kind of briefly just because I'm trying to go over the entire drawing section in PowerPoint. But this format shape pane is extremely powerful and it might be helpful to you guys if I do an in-depth tutorial on it. So let me know in the comments down below if you guys might be interested in seeing that. Also, another thing to note is let's say you want to change the size and properties of the shape. You can do that here. And then you go to size, you can increase the height or you can increase the width, even rotate it manually here, get the exact rotation you want. You can always rotate it here as well. But this is an exact way to rotate it perfectly. You can also scale the height and then scale the width, locked aspect ratio. There's a bunch of different features in here that you guys can really explore. And then you also have this text options feature that does the same type of effects, but for the text and not the shape itself. All right, so that is everything in the drawing section in PowerPoint. If you did like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you could subscribe, I would greatly appreciate the support. And then also, if you guys are interested in learning all things related to PowerPoint, I do have a course on Udemy, so I have a link to that below in the description. But without further ado, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I hope to see you guys in future videos. Thanks.